Hey everyone, I wanted to give you some information about our Honors Algebra 2 Semester 1 Final. Next week we do have school on Monday, Tuesday is a review day, and then our finals are Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. On Wednesday the 24th, first hour and second hour will have their full final, while fifth hour's final will be split into one of two parts. And then on Thursday, fifth hour will complete the second part of their final. Each day will follow this schedule. From 7:50 to 8 o'clock, there's the opportunity for breakfast or a snack up in the cafeteria. At 7:55 will be a bell for students to start making their way to class. On Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, respectively, from 8 to 9:55, you'll have your first hour final on Wednesday, third hour will be on Thursday, and then sixth hour will be on Friday. Each day we get the opportunity for snack break and a required Spartan hour. This will be an opportunity for you to change gears from one class to the next and get additional help if needed. Fifth hour will be split into three parts each day for your A, B, and C lunch. And then in the afternoon on Wednesday, we'll have our second hour final. Thursday will be your fourth hour final, and Friday you'll have your seventh hour final. This is your schedule for each day during finals week. We have covered a lot of content this semester. It's important to find your note packets for chapters 1, 2, 3, 4, 9, and 5. The breakdown for our final will include matching, multiple choice, and short answer. Next week, I'll give you the specific breakdown of how many questions of each type and the total value that your final is worth. Your final will be in the academic achievement category. We don't have a separate category for our final. You will be allowed to create a note card for the final. Now, this is completely optional. If you choose not to make a note card, that's totally up to you. To make a note card, what I want you to do is write your name on the top right corner. That way, when I hand it back out to you the day you take your final, it's easy for me to locate. Your note card must be handwritten, not typed, and not copied. You can use one side of a piece of notebook paper or printer paper, and I have printer paper for you if you'd like to use it. You may include definitions, formulas, and steps. We have lots of those. Unfortunately, what you cannot include are examples. Absolutely no examples. If you have examples on your note card, you will not be allowed to use that on the final. So it doesn't make sense to put a whole lot of work into it if you're not going to be allowed to use it. Also, if you mistakenly write something on both sides, you will no longer be able to use your note card on the final. So again, just to reiterate, one side and no examples. Also, it's important to note the deadline for your note card is Monday at the end of our class period. This is firm. So you have a couple of days in class to work, which is great. But remember, this will take a little bit longer than you might think, especially if you go through all the steps and things that we've talked about and having a good solid note card on just one side of a piece of printer or notebook paper. So plan ahead, and you may need to do some work outside of class to meet this deadline. You'll notice on our Schoology agenda, I have supplied you with a whole variety of practice problems. These are all the reviews we've done all semester, just kind of all in one place. And again, this is optional. But what I will have you do is anything that you complete, I want you to turn in. I'm not going to give you a score on it. That won't be posted on Student View. But the purpose of that is to make sure that if you have any concerns about why you got the grade you did on your final, we can look back at the practice work that you used to prepare. All the practice work and answer keys are posted on our agenda, so you can write things out on notebook paper. Now, for our timeline in the next few days, today and tomorrow, I want you to work on your note card and then do any practice problems you feel necessary to help you be ready for your final. Monday, you'll have time in class to work, but your note card is due at the end of the hour. Plan accordingly. On Tuesday, I'll give you your note card back, and I'm going to give you some sample questions to work on with me that are related to questions similar to the final. You'll again turn your note card back into me then, and I'll give it back to you when you take your final on Wednesday or Thursday. Hopefully you use your time wisely. Mrs. Frank, who is your sub, is a math teacher. She will be happy to help you if you have any questions, especially if you're concerned whether or not you have an example. Pretty much the rule of thumb from what I've seen in past finals, if you think it's an example, it probably is. So you can write definitions that have numbers, but not an example where you plug in numbers to a formula to solve. If you have any questions, just let Mrs. Frank know. Otherwise, I will see you all next week.